top stories on Pioneer News Tonight.
We speak with ASI President-elect Matthias Dempsey and learn more about how he plans to serve Cal State East Bay's student body next semester.
Next, we highlight the success of Cal State East Bay's softball team. Find out more about how the Pioneers are wrapping up their incredible season. Soon to come, Cal State East Bay's and faculty mourn the loss of the Inspire program.
East Bay students are also concerned about the future of University Art Gallery. Learn more about how students are reacting to the significant changes.
Good afternoon, Pioneers. I'm Elise Girardi.
And I'm Vincent Lencioni.
Welcome to this semester's final edition of Pioneer News Tonight, coming to you live from the Pioneer Media Center at California State University, East Bay. Cal State East Bay sophomore Matthias Dempsey will be moving up from his current position as ASI Director of Wellness to ASI President and CEO next semester. Elected in April, Dempsey promises to bring integrity and leadership during his term. Reporter Emmeline Becerra spoke with Dempsey to learn more about his future plans.
ASI is a 501(c) nonprofit organization. We are student government on campus. We are committed to advocating for students, the student government. There's different branches of us. We have a presents team who focuses on events. We have our student government team. We have our pro staff. We have committees. We have a mentorship program. So there's a lot of different facets to what ASI is.
And what do they do for students?
So we, as a board, we're regularly meeting with administrators. We're divided among an ex-com, directors, senators. So we have senators for each of the different academic colleges. These are people who are regularly meeting with the deans and department chairs and getting to the bottom of inter-college student issues. We have directors who are focused on various focus areas from wellness and recreation to sustainability, seeing what initiatives we can advance campus-wide in those focus areas, as well as a director of communities to provide meaningful representation for the different campus communities we have, from veterans to first gen to LGBTQ. And then we have our ex-com, Vice President of Finance, Executive Vice President and Chief of Staff, and President. We are meeting and leading the board throughout the year and making sure that we're able to successfully advance our policy initiatives.
Okay. What are some characteristics about you that you'd like students to know?
Well, for one, I come from Oakland, so East Oakland, so I'm from a low-income African American family of 6. Very, very proud that I've had 2 parents who have been really invested in making sure that I'm someone who can grow up to be creative, thoughtful, know how to have people skills and life skills. For them, they emphasize that education isn't, the only thing to life. It's just about kind of like how you're fitting into that space as well. So that's kind of allowed me to come into these spaces and really thrive and hit the ground running, and make so many incredible relationships with people, from the mental health realm to leadership development, from the political science to the health field. So it's just it's a true blessing to be able to wear so many hats, and I've met so many people doing what I do.
And what are your main responsibilities as president?
So my main responsibilities as president is to serve as a liaison between the students and the university president, as well as top administrators. I will be spearheading our policy agenda and kind of like setting these goals and these checkpoints for us to hit throughout the year for student advocacy. Another thing that I'm doing is providing representation at the system-wide level. So a lot of people don't know, but there's a Cal State Student Association. It is representatives from the 23 CSUs, and we all come together and we meet and we discuss legislation that's affecting students around the entire system. And we're advocating for students in what's called CSSA plenaries. So we're voting on policies, and I'm providing that official East Bay voice as a vote for the 13,000 students here.
In your campaign, you emphasize integrity and leadership. What does that mean to you, and how do you plan to demonstrate that?
Yeah, so integrity and leadership to me means follow through. I feel like a lot of students on campus, are qualified to lead in different various positions, and a lot of students can see talent, they can see like creativity, but I feel like none of that means anything if you're not able to follow through and actually put, you know, the action behind the words. So for me, follow through means actually going, meeting with the students, you know, actually showing up to the events, actually writing the policy, actually sending that follow-up email. So it's just, even the simplest things really matter, and attention to detail is what got me as far as I am now. So I don't plan on stopping, and that's, you know, that's what I'm planning on doing to provide that follow-through and integrity, because integrity is follow-through.
Yes. And you are the current director of wellness for ASI.
Yeah.
How do you plan to take what you've learned from that position and incorporate it into your presidency?
So I think a lot of what I learned from this skill is just the different various communication channels. Now in this role, I've worked with partners who are overseeing the gym, overseeing dining, various focus areas. So just the communicative skills that I've gotten from it, I think is going to be the biggest thing that I'm able to transfer over. You know, I know how to talk to administrators. I know how to set up meetings with administrators. So they're going to consistently hear what students feel about the campus, whether it's good, whether it's bad. You know, they're going to consistently hear that. And so I think that's like one skill that I'm able to carry over. Kind of getting stuff swept on the map. Like I've set up some emergency meetings this year that just like quick turnaround, and I've just been able to be really responsive and swift and direct and intentional about it, so I'm really happy about that.
And are you planning to make changes to ASI's outreach, and how are you planning to get students more aware and involved in ASI's mission?
Yes, so one thing that I'm planning this year is to hopefully create a more engaged civic campus. A lot of students don't know what's going on politically, and a lot of students are either detached from politics or just feel like ostracized just because of the current political climate. So one goal of mine is to provide spaces around campus for students to have those meaningful conversations about what's going on. You know, even the simplest things legislative wise affect our education, affect our ability to afford housing, affect our ability to pay for gas, you know, the simplest things like that. So that's why, for me, providing those spaces, inviting our elected officials to come to campus and say, hey, this is what we're doing for the community, and have us have a voice and say at the table is something that's important to me. So that's how I want to get students more involved. I want to bring our system-wide leadership to campus so that they can tell you CSU-wise what the CSU is implementing, so that East Bay students can feel that the CSU is representing their needs best.
What are thoughts on the current school spirit, and how do you plan to boost morale among students?
Yeah. One thing that drew me to East Bay is the diversity. I feel like we have such a diverse campus community, and that's something that we should all be celebrating more as a community together. So just, I feel like a lot of people's narrative around the school is that it is a commuter school, or that there's not as much to do here on weekends or in evenings. So just for me, it's about being innovative and how we can come together as a community and create, you know, meaningful spaces, create opportunities where people are like, I'm proud to call East Bay home. I think making East Bay school of choice is the number one main goal, and I think that starts with how we outreach to admitted students, how we outreach to transfer students, making them really feel like they're at home from the start, and then how we can continue to students who are just in their sophomore year and their junior, senior year, who are along this journey, how we can further outreach to them and not make them feel forgotten.
And what is the main thing pioneers can look forward to next school year? And what types of events can students expect in the fall?
Yeah, I'd say they can look forward to a lot of results. Me and Casey, we're both very proactive leaders, and I feel like that's just, it's a blessing to be a proactive leader and to also have someone by my side who's of the same mind, very task-oriented, very organized. We're both two very organized people, so students can definitely expect a lot of results, a lot of innovation, and also a lot of open feedback. You know, we're all ears. We want to hear from students, you know, what they want to see changed on campus, so that's what they can expect to see. And then they can expect to see a lot of creative events. You know, we have a really diverse board that got elected, new directors of wellness, sustainability, different senators at large, so they're all going to bring their specific touch and put it all together. So it's gonna be really exciting to work with all 17 that I'm working with this year.
And do you have anything else to say? It could be anything.
East Bay all day.
Let's go.
Cal State East Bay's incoming student program for inclusion, retention, and excellence, better known as INSPIRE, will be shutting down after the current semester due to a lack of funding. Inspire is designed to help first-year students become acclimated to college, connecting them with campus resources, helpful faculty, and fellow peers. To mourn the loss of the program and to protest the shutdown, Inspire students and faculty held a mock funeral demonstration last Tuesday. The ceremony began with an outdoor rally before moving to the multi-purpose room where students delivered speeches, held the taiko drum performance, and presented their final research projects. The demonstration ended with a march to University President Kathy Sandine's office, where protesters laid their picket signs in front of her doors. Inspire faculty alleged the program's closure was partly driven by shifting university priorities, with administrators focusing more on career readiness than on social justice and community building. However, faculty reassured students that they will always be available to support them.
While the university may frame equity as a goal or an outcome, for us, equity is not a project. It is lived. It is our lives. It is not something we set aside when priorities change. It is something we commit to because it reflects who we are and what we believe, not simply what we're asked to pursue.
Hey, we have family that gets us through. And Inspire is family. We will continue to operate that way. That's it.
According to faculty, University Provost Anthony Muscat and other administrators claim a replacement experience for first-year students is in development, though that new experience has not yet been fully explained.
We'll be taking a short break. When we come back, we discuss the University Art Gallery's future and highlight the success of Cal State East Bay's softball team. Don't go away. Pioneer News Tonight will be right back. Hey Pioneers, looking for the latest stories on campus? How about events in Hayward or even in the Bay Area? You can get the scoop on all the stories that matter to you with Pioneer Online. Here, you can stay up to date on breaking news in Cal State East Bay and beyond. Get informed about local stories and upcoming events, and learn about the people and places in your community. Check out thepioneeronline.com and follow us on Instagram and Facebook at The Pioneer Online. We are entirely student-driven. Support your fellow peers by reading our articles or by requesting coverage. The Pioneer, news by students, for students.
Welcome back, Pioneers. Cal State East Bay's University Art Gallery was initially slated for closure after this semester before receiving temporary financial support for a faculty advising position next academic year. However, art students are still concerned about the gallery's long-term future. Reporter Chris McNicholas has more.
Cal State East Bay administrators initially slated the University Art Gallery for closure after the current semester due to a lack of funding for a permanent faculty advisor. In recent weeks, after learning of the potential closure, university art students launched a campaign to protest the decision, hanging Save the Gallery signs around campus, organizing a petition, and distributing student-made zines. Their efforts ultimately proved successful. Following the student protests, University Provost Anthony Muscat and College of Letters, Arts, and Social Sciences Dean Carrie O'Neill allocated funding to the gallery to sustain a faculty advising position for the upcoming academic year. While art students and faculty are enthusiastic about the temporary support, there are still major concerns surrounding the gallery's long-term future, especially as the Department of Art continues to face low enrollment and course cuts.
We did get funding. We got partial funding, which we're incredibly grateful for, because as art majors, we want a place to show our art. And we think that's incredibly valuable for the amount of BFA programs that they have here.
Just to get that kind of initial support and a commitment to at least exploring this as a vital space moving forward is really heartening.
Art professor Michael Hall is the gallery's current faculty advisor. He volunteered after learning that the permanent position would not be refilled. He says that the University Art Gallery is an integral component to art curriculum, allowing students to exhibit their work, such as through the Senior Showcase, and even receive scholarships and awards for their work, such as through the Rising Juried exhibition.
the act of education and professional growth is inherent to the gallery. So we have curricula that's built into the gallery. There are professional job skills that are attained through working in the gallery and having exhibitions in the gallery.
I feel like it just goes hand in hand with like art careers, that like taking away a space like this could really impact and like really underprepare them for what's next, like in their future.
Other departments also utilize the gallery for events and collaborations of their own, such as literary nights hosted by the English department or jazz band performances by the Department of Music.
The gallery is a university space, and how those kinds of partnerships, those kinds of collaborations across departments, which are vitally important to a university experience, that the gallery is a place that can also center those.
Hall said that one of the art department's adjunct professors will serve as the gallery's faculty advisor for the upcoming academic year, a more cost-effective option than assigning a tenured faculty member or hiring a staff member. Although Hall declined to comment on the cost of a permanent faculty advisor, he mentioned that he is compensated for advising the gallery through weighted teaching units. Professor Hall and art students remain hopeful that given the support from Muscat and O'Neill, other university administrators will also back the University Art Gallery.
Watch students work and like how much work they put into like their projects, see how like passionate these like students are, and like you'll learn and see the importance of like why keeping like the gallery like is important.
As students continue to advocate for the gallery's future beyond spring 2027, its role as a space for creativity, community, and connection remains central to campus discussions.
Right now is a time to kind of really double down on these kinds of resources that we have just inherently already built into the university, because they're being lost in so many other places in the Bay Area and across the country.
I do think there's an incredible value in art that we hope is not forgotten.
Yeah.
Reporting for the Pioneer and East Bay Live, I'm Chris McNicholas.
The Pioneer softball team are your 2026 CCAA tournament champions. Cal State East Bay hosted the conference tournament at Pioneer Field on this Saturday, where the Pioneers defeated Cal State San Marcos in a best-of-3 set. Offensive dominance from Jasmine Morales and Riley Gomez set the tone for the championship series. Morales went 2 for 2, with 2 walks, and Gomez with 2 RBIs to keep the Pioneers ahead, for Marissa Quintero to pitch a complete game win. Quintero's pitching was nothing short of extraordinary to keep her team offense in the game. As the Pioneers accepted the tournament championship trophy, Morales was named 2026 CCAA Tournament MVP, with Gomez and Quintero named all-tournament selections. Now they hunt for the 2026 NCAA Division II West Regional and are currently playing Western Washington University at Pioneer Field. Great job, Pioneer softball, and good luck.
And that concludes this week's edition of Pioneer News Tonight. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you've enjoyed our broadcast, and we look forward to seeing you next semester. If you won't be with us then, we wish you the best of luck going forward.
We would also like to thank our amazing production team, which has made these broadcasts possible. Thank you to our producer, Emmeline Becerra, technical director, Chris McNicholas, video lab coordinator, Julius Palma, and our lighting and audio technicians, Eric Yee and Gray Valdez. Finally, we'd like to shout out our faculty advisor, Kevin Pina. Your hard work is greatly appreciated.
And to the class of 2026, congratulations. We'd like to honor your achievements by closing with a video produced by our partner, the Pioneer Online.
Enjoy the video and have a great summer, Pioneers. I'm Elise Girardi.
And I'm Vincent Lencioni.
And this has been Pioneer News Tonight.
From all of us at the Pioneer, we just want to say,
congratulations, class of 2026.